What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another match week results video. Honestly, what a crazy match week again this week. Results spread out all over the place. But yeah, so first game we're going to get into is Norwich versus West Ham. 4-0 to West Ham, beating Norwich, which officially means that Norwich is now relegated and they will be playing championship football next season. Mikel Antonio with just an amazing performance for West Ham. 4 goals on the day. Just great to have a striker on your team like that who's able to just put away all the chances he gets in every game. I think he had 4 shots, 4 goals. Only played 76 minutes, so for him to put in that kind of shift and not play a full 90 is just awesome for West Ham. Another thing that's awesome for West Ham, this is a big 3 points. It keeps them 3 points clear of the relegation zone. And, we'll see what they can do in the last 3 games of the season and see if they can stay up and be in the Premier League next season. Next game we're going to be jumping into is Watford versus Newcastle. And again, just, 2-1 to Watford. Not too many crazy implications for Newcastle in this game, but for Watford, it keeps them 3 points clear of the relegation zone as well, as they fight to stay up for next season. Troy Deeney, just two great penalties, I would say, just absolutely blast it right down the middle both times. I'll put up the clips of both videos. You'll think I'm showing you the same exact penalty, but these were definitely 2 different ones. I was always told, a big pressure penalty, the goalie's going to want to dive and make a great save, so why not just rip it absolutely up the middle and win the game for your team as Deeney does here. Next game we're going to be getting to is Burnley and Liverpool, and honestly, what a performance by Nick Pope, Burnley's goalie. In just insane amount of saves. If you watch the game, Liverpool could have easily scored 6-7 goals, but Nick Pope kept Burnley in the game pretty much the entire game. Even Jurgen Klopp gave Pope his congratulations after the game and things like that. But Liverpool opened the scoring after 30-something minutes, and what a great goal by Andy Robertson. As a defender to get enough power on a header like that to get it around the goalie, who was, like I said, was just well informed that game from that far out. Just what a great header by him to get another goal this season. Obviously later in the game, Burnley would equalize. Another good goal for them, but as we've touched on in the previous weeks, Burnley gets points with 1-goal games. I think that's 4 weeks in a row. They've only scored 1 goal, and now they have 8 points out of 12 in 4 weeks by only scoring 1 goal. It's just insane. It's insane because there's teams that could score double that and have the same amount of points in the same amount of games, and it's just I think Sean Dice is has them very, very well organized, and it's definitely benefiting them. Obviously, table wise, Liverpool already won the league, so this has 0 effect on that whole situation. But for Burnley, they just stay 10th place. They're now tied with Arsenal, who's in 9th. So possibly could jump above them, possibly couldn't. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks. Now we jump into Sheffield versus Chelsea, and what a great game for Sheffield, and just a poor performance by Chelsea. I think this is a game that had a lot riding on it for as far as like Europa League and Champions League spots. So Sheffield just comes out and beats Chelsea 3-0. Just very, very dominating game for Sheffield. Chelsea didn't look like they had a chance for most of the game. They couldn't break Sheffield's back line, who's been so great all season. Chelsea losing this game 3-0 just opens up the door for Man United and Leicester to take them over for that 3rd place spot with a win in their games. Obviously, if you guys watch this weekend, you kind of know where that whole situation went, and I'm not too happy about it. But yeah, just David McGoldrick getting 2 goals after not scoring in 27 Premier League games, just what an accomplishment for him. Happy for him. As a striker, I'm sure many of you know, not scoring in that long definitely takes a toll on you, and you just all you want to do is just score, and you want to get into positions to score, and he did that really well, and for both of his goals this game. Next game is Man City versus Brighton. And honestly, 5-0 to Man City. Raheem Sterling gets a hat-trick, and just kind of like, not a boring game to watch, obviously, just a very City-heavy game, obviously, by the scoreline you can see. We'll put Sterling's goals up here, but I think, the big talking point is that Man City have won their appeal to not have any Champions League ban on them for 2 years, which I think is just money talks, and if you have it, you can use it to get yourself out, even if you're cheating. So I extremely dislike the decision, not only because it's City, but also because now this affects a lot of other teams down in the table not opening up that extra spot to be in the Europa League or be in the Champions League. You know what I mean? So now City being in second, there's no bump down the table for any of that. But yeah, as I said, money talks. Whatever. City can buy their way out of anything at this point, it seems. It's like, why do you even put these rules in play in the first place? Because all you got to do is pay your way out of them, right? So yeah, just for Brighton, obviously, I think they're sitting up pretty nice above the relegation zone. They don't have much to worry about. I think they need to definitely, though, finish the season strong, with teams like Watford and West Ham pushing up, so you don't want to push themselves down closer to the relegation zone. So now let's jump into Wolves versus Everton, and just a great performance by Wolves, another dominating performance in the match week. Everton, just poor performance from them from what they've been showing recently. Just great goals by Wolves here. Raul Jimenez putting away Wolves' first goal here, just a penalty. Solid little penalty. And just, right before stoppage time, it's a great time to get a goal. Right before halftime is just always a great time to get a goal, because now you're going, instead of going in level, you're going in one up. Later in the game, good ball in right here. And just a great header, to get it to the back post and put Wolves up 2-0. Table-wise, this pushes Wolves 3 points back of Man United at 55 points. Obviously pending the result with United's game. And pushing more and more for that Champions League spot now, because obviously City's appeal was successful. So now top 4 gets you Champions League, and they're just pushing. So 9 points to get to finish the season. So we'll see what they can do. Next game is going to be Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace, and this is a huge game for Aston Villa. Battling relegation. They just got promoted last year. They don't want to go back down. They pull off a win 2-0 here. Just two very good goals from Trezeguet. Yeah, just good ball in, great header by Trezeguet to put Aston Villa up 1-0. Later in the game, obviously, just header back into the mix, and he takes a great first touch out of his feet. Nice little toe poke finish to kind of seal the game for Villa and put them up 2-0. This is huge for Villa, because if you look at their points on the table now, they just sit 1 point behind Bournemouth, who are in 18th, and they sit 4 points behind Watford, who are in 17th. So they're definitely working and trying to get out of that relegation zone, and this hopefully maybe this is a result that can push them out and keep them in the Premier League next season. Moving on to the North London derby, and I really think that games like this, and for those who don't know what the North London derby is, that is Arsenal versus Tottenham. But yeah, I was just saying, the games like this, I think, is where you miss the fans the most. The derby days. It definitely, it kind of I would say it kind of had a lack of energy. Obviously, the fans are always there to just help on the home team as well as the away team too. Some teams have great away supporters, and it's definitely games like this where you miss that. But getting into Arsenal's first goal, what an absolute banger from Alexander Lacazette. Just gets it out of feet and just screams it into the near post. But we're gonna go ahead and say typical Arsenal as of late fashion. 2 minutes later, defensive mistake, and now Heung-min Son is on to goal, and just, take nothing away from him. It was a mistake by Arsenal, but what an absolutely great finish to get it over the goalie who's coming out and rushing him. Just a nice little dink with his left foot, which you can technically consider his weaker foot, but what a goal just to get it in there and equalize the game after only, I think it was a minute and a half, barely, for Tottenham. And just moving in later to the game, Tottenham go ahead and take the lead 2-1 with a Toby Alderweireld goal. Just a great header, great ball in, great header. And that's kind of sealed the game for Tottenham there. They go ahead and win 2-1. this actually helps Tottenham jump Arsenal into that 8th place spot, and Arsenal drops down now to 9th, with Burnley right on their heels with the same amount of points. Arsenal just being ahead with goal differential. So yeah, I mean, just great result for Tottenham. Not too good for Arsenal, and you know, we'll see where they both end up after the next 3 weeks. Next game is Bournemouth versus Leicester, and I mean, what a big game for not only Leicester but Bournemouth as well, who's trying to get out of the relegation zone. I mean, insane. You know, Jamie Vardy puts Leicester up 1-0 in the first half, and you know, I mean, who else again? Like I said last week, just Jamie Vardy scoring all of Leicester's goals. I think we're looking at the favorite for the Golden Boot this season in the Premier League. You know, Leicester goes into halftime 1-0 thinking, you know, we could come out in the second half, play similar, you know, and Bournemouth just comes out absolutely firing, and Dominic Solanke getting his first 2 Premier League goals for Bournemouth since he joined them from Liverpool. And just, you know, what a feeling, right? He's still a young kid. I think he's only 20 or 21, so just good for him to get 2 goals in. And also, this is good news for Chelsea. Obviously, you know, they don't get passed by Leicester, but it's good news for Man United as well. Just now they have they only got 1 point to, you know, pass Leicester, and if they win and beat Southampton, you know, we move ahead into 3rd place. So yeah, just great result for Bournemouth as well, you know, pushing themselves closer and closer out of the relegation zone. I think they're only 3 or 4 points back from safety, but we'll see what they can do in these remaining 3 games, and if they can save themselves for Premier League football next year. Last game of the match week, and oh my goodness, that's all I can say is just come on, you know. Man United versus Southampton. I mean, as you can tell, personally, I'm hurt. I'm hurt by the final result. You know, all we had to, I mean, we had if we win, you know, we bump up to 3rd place. And you know, with the result now, just heartbreaking. So, you know, getting into the game, obviously, you know, Paul Pogba makes a mistake, loses the ball right outside the box, and Redmond does really well to, you know, get the ball to the back post. Great finish by Armstrong. You know, good touch to bring it down close to him and away from De Gea, and just a good little finish to get the goal in from there. It was about 8 minutes later. You know, good play, good ball in from Rashford. From Pogba, and just great little setup play from Martial to be able to get a hold of it and just still work it out wide to Rashford, who slots it home with his left foot. Just a great goal. And, you know, 2 minutes later, you know, we got Bruno passing it out wide to Martial cutting in on his right foot. Similar goal to the goal against Sheffield a couple weeks ago, but this time he goes near post and just rips it in. Yeah, I mean, getting to I would say the heartbreaking point of the game, you know, I mean, it's just very, very end, and the commentator says, you know, oh, you know, if there was any time for a good ball from Southampton to whip it in and score an equalizer, and I'm sitting there just like, oh no, commentator's curse. And anyone who's a big fan of soccer and watches it all the time, you guys know commentator's curse is the most real thing that could ever happen. And as you'll see here, you know, Southampton whips in a corner, scores a goal right at the end with virtually the last kick of the game, and it just, I'm sitting here in complete disbelief. Like, you had to open your mouth and say that. I was like, you should never open your mouth again. Just please keep it shut. Please keep it shut. Just absolutely heartbreaking. So now, you know, with that result, that's good news for Southampton. Obviously, you know, to pick up a point very last second at Old Trafford, you know, it's just good for them. But for Man United, you know, now we don't move anywhere. We don't move anywhere. We don't move up to 4th. We don't move up to 3rd because Leicester has us on goal differential, and it's just heartbreaking to think that you had the chance to move up into a solid Champions League spot, and we just blew it. We freaking blew it. You know, Wan-Bissaka played absolutely horrible. Bruno didn't have his best game. Pogba didn't have his best game. Just not a good game overall for everybody. You know what I mean? We lose. Luke Shaw goes out with an injury. Brendan Williams, I think, looks like he broke his nose. So just hopefully, you know, it's not like a turn downhill for Man United. Hopefully we can just continue the good run of form. But yeah, I'm absolutely heartbroken with the result. I wish, you know, we play Leicester on Championship Sunday, so hopefully the point gap is exactly the same and we can go out there and beat them and be in the Champions League next year where we belong. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you at the end of next match week, hopefully with better results for Man United. But yeah, please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.